Okay, yesterday we began the Mishnah, a very long Mishnah on Chav Zayin and Beis. Today we're going to see the Gemara. The first thing of the Mishnah was that just like the Mayim checks her out, it checks him out. It uses a pronoun him. Who is the him? Says the Gemara, Oisai Laman. Who's that Oisai? Says the Gemara in the bottom. Ilay Baal. If you're going to tell me it checks out the Baal, just like it checks out the Chav Zayin and Beis, just like it checks in Masechta Sotah, just like it checks out what? It checks out the woman, it checks out the husband. Now, the bo my oven, what did he do? In other words, what did he do to be checked out? The chitem, if you're going to say the isbe avon but galei maya, that if he has an aveira, it's going to check it out. Now, guys, it can't be that it means any aveira because there's no person that's squeaky clean. So look at Rashi. The isbe avon sheba Allah la'achashenistara. That what's his oven? It's directly connected to what? To the Sotah, that he was boil her after the stira, after she was behind closed doors. So in other words, so maybe that in other words, so when she drinks, if he was boil her after the stira, it's gonna blow him up as well. Can anyone stop me telling me why that's wrong? Says our boy from. He said the right thing. Don't correct him. He said the right thing. Don't think it's right. It's not broken. Let him have. Every dog has his day. Now, so here you go. Very good, Fido. Ki isbe avoin b'didei mi botki leimaya ledida. If he has a what, an avera, will it go ahead and check her out? But Tanya, the nikah ishmei avoin, right? V'ha'isha. He says, Pasuk says the man is squeaky clean and the woman will carry her oven. What does that mean? The relationship? When the guy is squeaky clean, then am I in boikenes ishtai. So in other words, you're not exactly right. I don't want to give you too much credit because I worry about your gaiva. She will drink, it just won't work. You said she won't drink. In other words, she will drink, it just won't work. So in other words, just like you're going to tell me she's going to blow up, he's going to blow up, meaning the husband. If the husband is guilty and she drinks, she ain't blowing up. So that Iso can't be him. That Iso can't be him.
The husband, not the boy.
Leman, Lebal. We're going back again. We gave no boils with a vav. Okay.
I'm not a
No, okay. Listen, this is not group therapy. It just okay.
individual therapy.
Guys who come once in a while don't talk again. Okay, but you'll give you the first. You were warned. Let's hear what you have to say.
It's like,
But
it's not contrasting perfect.
it's
Just because she over here won't get blown up doesn't mean all Mishnah said was same way she drinks and she gets blown up. He also, but it doesn't mean the lava happen the same exact instance where
again, it doesn't make a difference. The question is, who's the he that's getting blown up?
it could be him.
Who?
It could be the husband. You're telling me that she doesn't.
How can it be the husband?
Why?
Because if he did an avera that is boil her,
It doesn't work
the
on
water
her.
is not going to work on
Her.
her.
But so what?
But so if it doesn't work on her, it doesn't work on him. Again, look at the Gemara. We just made a relationship. You know, you can shaka all you want. The Gemara says opposite, right? The Gemara says you have a relationship over here. It says when he is clean and then she'll be what? Then it'll work. If he's not clean, it's not working. It's not working. Period. It's not working. So the chayra that therefore the isai can't be the husband. Therefore the isai can't be the husband. It says one the ella shrag liboil with a vav. Right, liboil. Right, liboil. Now here's your problem, guys. If it's the boil, look back at the Mishnah. Tell me what's wrong with this. Let's go back to the Mishnah. Beginning of the parak. Kishem shemayim baikin isa kach mayim baikin isai. Shnemar uvo uvo. Kishem she'asur lebal kach asur leboil. What's wrong with that? Why do you use a pronoun and then you use a proper noun? Now, Bishnei Moisai is the Baal, I can understand. But why all of a sudden, if it's the Oisai was the boil, why then in the second case do you spell it out? You first say, Kishem Shamayim Boikin Oisa checks out her, Sotah checks out him. And then you say, just what? Just like she is Asa to the Baal, she's Asa to the boil. You should say either be consistent. Say either asaloi and isai or boil. Good. Get two cases. Why? If it's speaking about the boil, say boil. Don't say isai.
Right.
After all, you do say boil and shem shas lebal kachas leboil. Says the Gemara. That's a fedemar kasha. So listen, Kiditani Seifa, Kishem Shasur Lebal, Kachasur Leboil. So L'chaira, why are you not going ahead what and being consistent? What's the problem here? This is not rocket scientist stuff. That though. Let me hear you. Let me hear your thesis. Yeah.
Because in the first part of the Mishnah, you're referring to one person. Here the Mishnah has to refer to two people. Referring to the Baal and the Baal.
Kishem Shemayim Baikin Isa, one person. Kachamayim Baikin Isai, two people. Okay, now you got two people, Isa and Isai.
I thought we know that there's no question. It's only
Again. The be consistent. It's grammatically there's no problem if you're consistent. If you look at Rashi, guys, look at Rashi. There's 3 lines down. Elaboil kitani. Elaboil listening. Kach boikin esaboil. Kishem sheboikin isa. Kach boikin esaboil. Why leave it up in the air ambiguous, fellas? Is it ambiguous? Just like the water checks her out, it checks him out. Now, her, you're right. That's her. There's no other option. But if you want to say exact, don't say Isai and leave it. Say Baal or Baal, whichever one. So the Gemara continues Rashi. It says the Kachman is behedya, Kitani Seifa behedya. Just like you said Baal behedya, say in the Seifa, say it in the Reisha. Or V'loitani or Kachasura Baal V'loitani Kach Asura Loi. She's asa to him. What's asa to him mean? You're using a pronoun in the Sefer, a pronoun in the Reisha. Just be consistent. Okay, so again. Kishem she'asa lebal, kach asa loy. Right. No, in other words, the Baal's not a kasha. In other words, Kishem she'asa lebal chayim, kach asa loy. And you know and who's the loy? That's the same as Osai. So you got it now, guys. Be consistent. Let's be consistent across the board. Okay, so what does the Gemara answer? The Gemara says you are consistent. La'olam Isai is tackle boil. The Reisha and the Reisha. I did the Tani Isa. Since you learn her, and that is not a problem learning her. There's only one game in town. Tani Isa, you learn Isai. Seifa, I did Tani Baal, Tana boil. So yeah. Now, in other words, you had no choice, guys. Let's go through. That's outside. And figuring it out. Misefta Sotah. You don't have to say Kishem Shabbat Ganes Isha. You could say we know it's her, right? We know it's her. Good. Now, you would normally have to explain who the other one is, but we don't to be consistent in language. You used a pronoun for her. We use a pronoun for him. Now you jump to the Sefer. What does the Sefer say? Kishem Sha'asa le Baal, kachasa leboil, right? That you have to spell out because there are two possibilities. The chiddush is that she's also to the Baal until she drinks, right? So again, it works out. Now, go back to the Mishnah, guys. Again, let's go back to the Mishnah. It says uvo. It says 3 times in the parsha. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the phones. May you can look on with the doc. I could send it to your phone also. I know maybe you don't have a smartphone. I don't know. Okay, so this is a condensed version of the parsha, guys. This is a condensed version of the parsha. Okay, in other words, you're not getting the whole parsha. You're getting the psukim we need. So let's start with pasuk. Let's start with 3 psukim. Let's start at Chaf Beis, Chaf Dalin, Chaf Zayin. Chaf Beis. Uvohu amayim ha'ma'orim. Again, uvohu in dark letters, right? That's the first time it says it in the parsha. The next time it's in Chaf Dalin. The Hishka es the Isha es ha'meimarim ha'ma'orim. Uvohu ba hamayim ha'ma'orim. There you have your second uvohu. And the third uvohu is in pasuk Chaf Zayin. The Hishka es ha'mayim v'hoisa im nitma'a. Okay, so we have 3 uvos. Good. Now, we only use 2 of them. One to teach, once asa to the Baal, it's asa to the boil. Good, that's what he said. The next halacha, back to the Mishnah, Shnemar. No, so uvo teaches me what? Just like she's checked out. The boil is checked out. That's what I learned from Uvo. The next halacha, just like Yasa to the Baal, Yasa to the boil. Shenema nitma v'nitma divrei Akiva. Amr Yeshua kacha yidorish l'chai ben akatzav. The Chai ben akatzav darshan the way we just said it. Nitma v'nitma. Rabbi Yomi shnei pa'amim. It says twice. Amur parsha nitma v'nitma. One in pasuk Yudalit and one in pasuk Chav Zayin. Echel l'bal v'echel l'boil. Here's the question: when it says uva'u, what's the drasha? Is it the vav that's the drasha, or the repeat that's the drasha? Is it the vav that's the extra, or it's the repeat? Now, by nitma v'nitma, yeah, apparently when you said nitma v'nitma, by the second drasha was the vav. Good. So let's see inside. Says the Gemara. Iboilahu. Ba'u uva'u. It's the vav. Ka'amar. Ay uba'u kamar. It's the double lashon. Which one is it? Tashma. Kishem shasur lebal. Kachasur leboil. Shnemar. Nitma'a. V'nitma'a. So what? Just like the v'nitma'a in the latter case is the vav, so to the va'u, it's the vav. Yes? Good. Right, the Gemara, but adayin tiboy, we still have a question. Nitma'a v'nitma'a kamar, or nitma'a v'nitma'a kamar. In other words, even there, it's a shaila, whether it's a double lashon or is it a vav. So, three cases. You have uva'u. I don't know if it's the vav or the double. I have nitma v'nitma, and the assumption is that vav in the second case is all this first case. Maybe it's a double lashon there as well. The same shaila that you have in clause number 1 is in clause number 2. Back in the Mishnah, Rabbi Omer shnei pa'amim amurim beparsha nitma v'nitma, twice. Echad lebal v'echad lebal. So what does Rabbi? Rabbi speaks it out. He doesn't say there's no vav over here. Rabbi's speaking out. What's Rabbi telling you? Right? Rabbi's telling you it's a double what? It's a double lashon, right? That's causing it. So when Rabbi says it's a double lashon, obviously Rabbi Yeshua ben Katz learned in Rabbi Akiva, it's the vav. Or else what are they arguing in? So therefore the Gemara says it must be that what uvo, it must be what the vav. Iboilu. Let's see it again one more time. Tashma. The Tani say for Rabbi Omer, Shnei Pa'amim Amur beParsha v'nitma echel lebal v'echel lebayil. Mechal Rabbi Akiva vav kadarish. Okay, Mechal is vav kadarish. Okay, so now you have the following: uva'u, right? It's said we don't know whether it's the vav or the double. Comes along Rabbi Akiva and says by nitma v'nitma, it's the vav. How do you know it's the vav and not double? Because when Rabbi said afterwards it's a double, it must be that he's arguing on Yeshua and Katziv's. So very good. So now, if that vo was introduced in the latter case, it must be vo is what is a double lashon, or right? It's the same person talking. Rabbi Akiva, it's the same person talking. If he said nitma v'nitma, he would have said ba'u uva'u. The fact that he said the do uva'u nitma v'nitma, right? So that's the raya. That's the raya. Okay, now we're going to darshan, guys, this whole parsha. We're going to darshan this parsha. If you darshan the extra vav, you have 6 drushes. You have the 3 times it's stated and the extra vav. If you don't darshan the vav, you only have 3 statements. Okay. So now again, keep it open because we're going to be going back and referring to this what. I don't know. I hope I'm recording. I think I am. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Listen, sometimes you not happening. No backsies. You got it totally correct this time. Okay. Okay. Anyway, guys. So Geschmack now. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's identify three tkufis. One, the tzava of Hashem. One, the fact that it's commanded that you're commanded to make her drink. You're commanded to make according to Bekiba, echel lebal v'echel lebayil, meaning kishem shebaykin oisa katbaykin oisai. So you need the command to drink that it's going to be poil on him and her. Then that's the tzava. Then you have the actual asiya, that the second, that what is going to, HaKadosh Baruch Hu assures you that it's going to go ahead and be payal. That's called the asiya. And then you have the idea that it's going to start in the stomach and then go to the thigh. The psukim here are funny, fellas. One pasuk it says thigh first, and the other pasuk it says let me see on the chart over here. Yeah, take a look at pasuk of Aleph. Take a look at Aleph, guys. V'ishbiya kohen es isha b'shvua sa'Allah. V'amar kohen leisha yitin Hashem Isach la'Allah u'l'shvua b'seich amech b'seis Hashem es yerechech noifeles, your thigh will fall. There's bitnech tzava, and your stomach will explode. So what's the order over here? Thigh first and then stomach. But when it works derech yerida. What goes first? The stomach and then the thigh. So that's the next pasuk, guys. That's what it tells you. It says uba amayim amorim ma'elam ayach pasuk of beis litzpais beten, that the stomach will explode. The non pil yorech, and then so that's the yidiyah that it's going to work in that way. So there's three aspects. One is the klala, the maidah of the fact that each one it's going to work on them, and then to go ahead and subvert that. Don't think it's going to. You should be mitzi last and say 1 second it didn't work the right way. So we have 6 drushes, 3 for each. 1 for the tzava, 1 for the asiya, 1 for yidiyah. Let's see it inside. Says the Gemara. And if you're interested in the chart, I'll quote the psukim as I go along, but I think we did a good job. Says the Gemara. Hilkach, Rabbi Akiva, Shisa Kroi Ksivi. You got 6 psukim. Why? How you got 6 psukim, guys? You dash in the vav, and you have an itma 3 times. Chad litzava, that's pasuk of Daled, dida. The chad litzava didei. Chad la'asiya dida, that's chav zayin. The chad la'asiya didei. Chad liyadiyah dida, that it's going to work first on the stomach. The chad liyadiyah didei is. So now, that's Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi is the final drasha. Nitma v'nitma. He doesn't darshan the vav. So how many drashas does he have? 3. He has 3 nitma. For Rabbi, tlas kroi ksivi, 3 psukim. What? This is going on the nitma. The chadlida Rabbi kashem shamayim boitkin oisa kach boitkin oisai. Right, and the Rabbi tlas kroi ksivi chadlit savav v'chad la'asiya v'chad liyadiyah. Good. Now for Rabbi kashem shamayim boitkin oisa kach boitkin oisai minalei. Where does he know that from? Right. Since again, Rabbi Akiva knew it from the extra vav, but he doesn't dash in the extra vav. So where does he know that from? Nafkalei miditani litzbois beten v'lanpil yorech. He learns it out from, it says linpil yerech. He's the Rebbe again who doesn't dash in the vav. So where does he know? Kashem shabayin baikin I kach baikin I. He knows from the brisa. It says litzbois beten v'linpil yorech. So first the stomach and then the yorech. Bitnoi v'yerech shel baal, guys. It means the beten and the yerech of the baal, okay, that of the boil. Excuse me. So now it just says to blow up a stomach and blow up a thigh. How do you know it's the male? Maybe it's the female. It says the Gemara, "Atam a bitnoi v'yerechai." You say his stomach and his thigh, the boils shall boil. Ayena ela bitna v'yerecha. Maybe it's hers. Shall neveles. Kishu oimer, when the pasuk says that savsa bitna v'nafla yerecha, when the pasuk says that her stomach is gonna, this is pasuk of Zion, guys. It says with savsa bitna at the end of the pasuk v'nafla yerecha. Therefore, Harry bitna v'yerecha shall neveles Amar. Hamamini Mekayim. Why am I going to use the pasuk of latzbois beten? Of I think this pasuk is pasuk of beis, right? Pasuk of beis latzbois beten v'lapel yorech. It's speaking about what? Him. Lebitna yivirecha shall boil. Now, the idach Rabbi Akiva, who learns out that the water checks out from the extra vav, right? Right? Why does he use? So why does he use with pasuk of beis, guys? Guys, look at pasuk of beis. Pasuk of beis says So that teaches me what? That teaches me that the boil is going to be checked. Rabbi Akiva knows that already. He knows that from the extra vavs that he dashed in. So the question is, what does he do with chav beis, guys? Since he knows it from the vavs, what does he do with it? The pasuk must be teaching me something. So what does Rabbi Akiva do with that? And for the Gemara, hahu the moida la kayin the betem bereisha v'hadiyarech, that the kayin informs them that you know what's going to blow up first, the stomach, and then the thigh. Why? Because if the pasuk before says, right, that's going to go first the thigh and then the stomach. That's what he uses it for. The idach and Rabbi that who uses that pasuk to teach me that he's going to blow up. Where you might see laz? In other words, since he uses the pasuk, guys, pasuk habeis. How are we dashing pasuk habeis? Pasuk habeis we're dashing last place bet of limp yarech. We're dashing to teach me that the boil is also going to blow up. Rabbi Akiva doesn't need that for the boil to blow up, correct? Because he has it. He has the extra buff. So what does he use it for, guys? To teach me not to be mitzi laz the order. Now, according to Rabbi, who used it to teach me that he's going to blow up, where does he know order from? He needed chafes to teach me what? To teach me that he blows up, period. So now, where do you know the order to be that it should be mitzi laz? Where do you know betin before yarech from? Good. That's what he's asking, according to Rabbi. Guys, we good? Mm-hmm. Again, it's a paper trail, right? You're going right along. Again, let's chazreba. You have 6, right? Hidashin, Sava, Yediyah, Asiyah, V'Yediyah on all accounts. What was the idea was that you're gonna get it also. You get so now. According to Rabbi, what is Rabbi? Rabbi only has it 3 times. He doesn't have it. What? He doesn't have it 6 times. So if he only has it 3 times, so he learned out. He said that it's going to check. Where does he know that it's going to check him and her? So he learns it from pasuk habeis. Fred the Gemara. So what does Rabbi Akiva do with pasuk habeis? He doesn't need it to teach me what the same like the Rabbi. He uses it to teach me order. Now, Rabbi, who uses it to teach me the halacha, where does he know order from? Right, that's the kasha. The idach, Rabbi, who uses it to teach me that the bowel is going to blow up, where do you know that? What? That first the stomach and then the thighs. And Cain says the Gemara, if it's just going to teach me that the water checks at the boil, lichtav kra, it should say bitna v'yarecha. And then I would know what? I would know bitna v'yarecha. My betin v'yarech shmamina, that the baim checks out also the boil as well. Doesn't go ahead, it checks out. No, where does he know that it checks out the boil as well? From here. Maybe it comes totally to teach me that, nothing else. And Cain lichtay bitna v'yarechai. My betin v'yarech shmamina tarti. Guys, when you say betin v'yarech, can go either direction. Once you're being ambiguous. You're not saying bitna v'yarecha. You're not saying bit no v'yirecho. You're saying bet and v'yarech, and therefore it goes in both directions. That Rebbe said again. Rabbi Akiva learned it nitma v'nitma, and he learned it what from what from. He learned it what from. He learned it from the fact that it was twice. I'm going back. I think May was correct. It wasn't when the double. We just mentioned Rebbe. The 3 was a 3 of vos because there was no nitma said in that pasuk. It's a 3 of vos. It's not the nitma. So just to make a correction. Now we're going to go through that. Says the Gemara. Tanrabanan shloisha pamim amurim beparsha v'hoysa im nitma. It says v'hoy im nitma. Then it says v'kinu es ishtay v'hi nitma tachas isha. Then it says v'nitma tachas isha v'nitma. You have 3 times in the parsha, guys. It says v'nitma. Let's go. Where are the three times, guys? Dalit, Chav Zayin, Chav Tes. You can look at the board. You might as well do it. We have plenty of time. Your Dalit. What does it say? V'over aleh ruach kina. The kina esishtoi v'hi nitma. You have it in bold letters there. Pasuk Chav Zayin going down. The hishka samayim v'hoysa im nitma. And then finally, guys, in Pasuk Chav Tes. Pasuk of Tes, which I have to move this up from, right? So you have it stated 3 times over here. Meaning, if she doesn't drink, guys, if she doesn't drink, let's say the Baal dies, or say if she doesn't drink. If she doesn't drink, she can't live with the husband. If she does, and the boil is always out. The echel the truma. Let's say she's a bas kohen. What's the halacha? A bas kohen, after her husband divorces her or dies, and she has no children, she goes back to eating truma. Good. In this case, if her husband died and she didn't drink, she wouldn't go back to eating truma. In this case, if her husband died and she didn't drink, she would not go back to eating truma. So 3, 1 for labal, 1 laboil, and 1 for achilas truma. That is the lashon of man divrei Rabbi Akiva. Guys, very clear, very important, because the next daf and a half is going to be on this. So let's get it clear one more time. It says 3 times in the parasha, nidma, nidma, nidma. Rabbi Akiva is going to darshan 1, that the woman is asa to her husband. 2, the woman is asa to the boil, and 3, the woman cannot. Let's say the husband died and she doesn't drink. Again, if she drinks and not guilty, she's squeaky clean. She's good to go. Okay. Here we're speaking about, okay, she doesn't drink. So she goes to her husband. If she drinks and squeaky clean, if she drinks and doesn't die, she goes to the husband, right? Goes back to the husband. But boil, forget about it. He's a zichas. And the truma, if she's a bas kohen or eishes kohen, she doesn't go back to, okay? If she doesn't, that's it. Guys, good? Now. Amar Rabbi Yishmael. Now, guys, this Gemara makes no sense whatsoever. Watch what happens. Amar Rabbi Yishmael kal v'chaymer. Now, what would you say the kal v'chaymer would be? I'm going to make a kal v'chaymer that she doesn't eat truma. You just told me it's a pasuk. I'm going to tell you a kal v'chaymer she doesn't eat truma. That's what I would say. I'm going to tell you a kal v'chaymer that she doesn't eat truma. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell you a kal v'chaymer that she doesn't eat truma. Okay, that's what the Gemara's assumption is. Okay, says the Gemara the following. Listen, why it makes no sense. Uma gerusha, shemuteris the truma. Yeah, she eats truma. She goes back to daddy. No kids. Goes back, right? Asur lekahuna. Can she marry Kayin once she's a gerusha? No. Zu shasur b'truma. This one who is asa b'truma, ein idin shasur lekahuna. He's talking about one thing and he's talking about another thing. What is Rabbi? Gemara's going to ask the kasha, guys. I want to embed it into you now. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi said it then. Rabbi Akiva's din was that she doesn't eat truma. Comes along Rabbi Shmuel and says she's asa to the kayin. Rabbi Akiva's not speaking about asa to the kayin. He's speaking about something else. She might be asa to the kayin, but he's not speaking about that. He's speaking about oranges, and you're speaking about bananas. The Gemara doesn't make any sense. It doesn't flow. The Gemara's against the kasha, guys. It just introduced it to you. Okay, so now, Ma Talmud Loima. This is interesting. This is like a new Gemara. The Gemara is very nuanced over here. You can get usually Talmud Loima. We answer why it's not a kal v'chaymer, right? If you look at Rashi, guys, Rashi is very geschmack. Matam loymar. Why does it say v'hinit ma? Look at Rashi. V'loy goris im kain. Guys, let me put the gears of in kain. I like doing this. I like doing mechanics of Gemara. Watch. Listen to the mechanics of Gemara. If I have the words im kain. Rabbi says Rabbi Akiva asar truma. Says Rabbi Shmuel kal v'chaymer. Im kain matam loymar. Why would im kain therefore do? It would make it one flow. That this new Gemara is a flow. If so, meaning going on the PS Gemara, correct? This is a total new Gemara. That's all right. Rashi's hacking. These are the Rashis that you gloss over. Especially if you're using classical, you gloss over all Rashis. But I'm saying, but this is the Rashi that you would gloss over. What does he say? Ma tamlaima v'hinit ma garcinon v'loy goras imkain. You know why? The milse ba'apei nafshehi. What does it mean? It's a separate zach. It's a totally separate thing. And the kasher is, why does it say loynit ma, as we're going to see in a second? So very geschmack, okay? The mechanics of the Gemara. So very good. So we have 2 problems. One, mechanically, I don't understand what Rabbi Shmuel is answering to Rabbi Akiva. Ered vegan truma, ered vegan psulul kahuna. And now we're starting a new Gemara What's the new Gemara? The pasuk says, pasuk Yudalid. Guys, why does it say read pasuk Yudalid? Just when I close off the screen. Pasuk Yudalid. Look at pasuk Yudalid. V'avar alav ruach kina, v'kineas ishtoi, v'hi nitma'a. I avar alav ruach kina, v'kineas ishtoi, v'hi loy nitma'a. That's the nitma'a, the loy nitma'a. We didn't address this. This is like a number, we just addressed the v'hi nitma'a. This is loy nitma'a. So the Gemara is addressing that loy nitma'a. In the pasuk itself, you're going back and forth between nitma'a and loy nitma'a. So what does that mean? We're going back. We want to figure out what is that loy nitma'a at the end of the pasuk doing there. Says the Gemara, because it's kind of not sensical, right? In nitma, if she's tamei, lama shaisa. What's the purpose of drinking? To matter to her husband. But if you know she's guilty, she's also to the husband. In loy nitma, and if she's not guilty, lama mashke, why is she drinking? So here's, guys, this is the Chiddush in Masechta Sotah. Magid l'cha kosiv shehasafik asura. It's telling you. It's not that she was tamei. It's not that she wasn't tamei. It's that we don't know what she is. We don't know what she is. Again, I go back. Here's what you should do. If you have a Gemara, right? When it begins in Mamachna L'Ishtoi, write Ayin Chavches Amid Aleph, this line. Why? Because going back in time, what's the Chiddush of Sotah, guys? Is the Chiddush that she's Asa? What? What's the Chiddush? That she's a Sofik and Aser. What's the Chiddush? She has a Cheskes Taira. You don't have Eidim that she was Mizana. The Chazaka says that what? She's good. The Chazaka says she's good. You don't have Eidim. You have a lot of circumstantial evidence. You do not have Eidim that she was Mizana. If you don't have Eidim, we're going to be Maimon on a Cheskasa. What's her Chazaka? She's Tar. The Chiddush of Sotah is Magid l'cha kosiv shasafik asura. We're taking her off that Chazaka. We're taking off the chazaka. This is the Chiddush of Sotah, guys. We're taking off that chazaka. Why? Because it says in nitma, in light nitma, meaning nishtahinish. I don't know. That's the suffix of Sotah. That's why this is, I think, crucial. This is the whole Masechta. It's not, you don't focus on it. We did focus on it. I'm going to focus more on the base on it. Guys, you good? So you know that's the Chiddush in nitma and light nitma. That even though it's a suffix, and really we should go ahead and be a Ma'amar Cheskasa. Nonetheless, we don't.
That's what Stam one who never was warned, but she don't have a warning. She's done things in the past. She doesn't behave properly.
I want to ask you a question.
Why do you say it's a
What is the chazaka?
If you're assuming that
Again, when you have a suffix, right? When you have a suffix, we have certain ways of warning a suffix. Chazaka, roiv. There's certain ways. You can have everything going on over here. If you don't have edim, then you got it. So by the shape. So it's the suffix. Got it. That's it. And notice, what you're thinking of Yoni is an American concept. Okay, the guilty and prove innocent.
It's just a yachid, right?
Okay. Well, hang on. Okay. Mikana to don l'sheretz. Mikan, you're gonna go ahead and dodge to a sheretz. Now, meaning from the suffix of Sotah, and we call it tumah. We call it tumah. We're going to go ahead and extrapolate the halacha of suffix by sheretz, guys. That's what we're going to do. Uma Sotah shloi asa b'shoyge k'mezid. By a Sotah, we're not going to make a shoyge like a mezid. She thinks she's with her husband. It's another man. It's a shoyge. V'oinis, or another man forced himself upon her. Kiratzin. In other words, in that case, is she going to be mutter to her husband? Absolutely. Asa b'safik kavadai. Nonetheless, we're going to make a suffix of adai. Sheretz. If a sheretz touches you, b'shoigeg, what are you? V'aynis. If it touches you b'aynis, what are you? Tamei. Right? Kiratzain. Einay din sheyasa b'suffix on my base. Everyone's smiling. We're going to do the Taisus, guys. We're going to do the Taisus. Right?
Sheretz you can rectify. You can't rectify.
Again, you're just saying the difference, but again, no, it does make a difference. It's Adrabah, but again, to contract to him in the first place is no problem. Again, we're learning. In other words, this is a source for a Tumas Sheretz of a suffix. Now, what do we know? Ma'adacha Sotah, which only al suffix. Are we going to say, but Einis and Shaygeg is good. Sheretz or Einis and Sheretz is no good. Certainly suffix is not good. Good. And let's continue. Umimakim Shabbos. What does that mean? And let's extend more from your source. Let's extend more from Sotah. And this is Yankel. Mas Sotah Rishus Hayachid, just like a Sotah is Rishus Hayachid, Af Sheretz Rishus Hayachid. So to suffix Tuma Sheretz is only going to become Rishus Hayachid, not Rishus Harabim. Umas Sotah Davar Sheyesh Bei Das Li Shoel, just like Sotah, you can ask whether you're tummy or not. Af Sheretz Davar Sheyesh Bei Das Li Shoel. If you find a pot, guys, in a Rishus Hayachid, 2 pots, and the sheret's dead between the pots, it's not a suffix. There's no one to ask. You can't ask the rodent. It doesn't talk. If the suffix is the guy walks by and is unsure if he did, that's the suffix. But it's a person. In other words, it has to be just like by the suffix by Sotah is B, it's someone you could ask. We had this. So too by sheretz, it has to be someone you could ask. Umikan amru, guys. By das li shoel b'shus hayachid sveikai tamei b'shus harabim sveikai tahar. Usheim by das li shoel bein b'shus hayachid bein b'shus harabim sveikai tahar. If you can't ask, even in b'shus hayachid, it's going to be tar. Okay, so let's set it up. We have over here. We have a pasuk. The pasuk says im nitma and it says im loy nitma. Comes along and we need a pasuk to tell us this, guys. We need a pasuk to say, don't keep her on the chazaka. We need a pasuk to tell us, don't keep her on the chazaka, correct? Take her off the chazaka, and she's tamei. Tamei al safik, I'll extend it. We'll go ahead and extrapolate from a Sotah to sheretz. Just like a Sotah is what? Is mishus yachid. Good. Why? Because it was only 2 people. Remember Gedenk's Gemara in Nazir? 3 people, Rishus Harabim is talking that you threw it. I don't know. Guy comes along and says to 2 Nazirim, I saw one of you become Tamei, right? And the Gemara said, 1 second, there's 3 people there, it's Suffolk Tumah Rishus Harabim. And that's 9 that you threw it in between, right? I say right, like you know. I go, yeah, sure.
Why
Let's just finish, Mayor. So just like over there, by Sotah, and it's Rishus Harabim, Rishus Hayachid, it's Mechadesh that the suffix Tamei, who would then suffix Sheretz? 1 second. That's Rishus Harabim. Is this Rishus Hayachid? That's Rishus Hayachid. Okay. There you could possibly ask somebody. There you possibly could ask somebody. That's a sheretz only when you could ask somebody. A sheretz is only when you could ask somebody. So therefore, what about if it's in Rishus Harabim? Even if you could ask somebody, the seiko is going to be tahar. Now, why is it tahar? Now you have a question, yeah.
Otherwise, you should be other. You can't have a steer that's a shusha.
Usually when people do this, they do it.
If it's
You're learning with Rishus Harabim, Rishus Hayachid location. It's people, not the people. Yeah, that's it. It's people. It's 2 people, yeah, usually. So now we have. So again, we established in Daf Zion. I spoke at it in Zion, fellas, that people make a mistake. Baruch knows this. People make a mistake. They think you learn out Suffolk Tumah B'Rishus Harabim from Sotah. It's not true. That's fair rice, guys. Fair rice. Why is someone Suffolk Tahar? Why? You have a chazaka. You Tahar. You have a chazaka. Why is Sotah Tamei? Because you got a pasuk. Once you don't have a pasuk, where does the pasuk apply? Only where? So, but once you don't have the pasuk, then what? So you know why Suffolk Tumah B'Rishus Harabim is Sveika is Tahar? Because you're Maimon on the Chazaka. Okay, now I'm setting you up. Here's the Taisus. Let's see top Taisus, guys. You thought you were going to get it earlier. I'm going to tell you. Now, it could be worse. I could do the bottom Taisus. Now, Mikan Amru. You got very nervous. Mikan Amru. We're going to tell you the Taisus in this year. Mikan Amru B'Rishus Harabim Sveika Tahar. The Perikama de Shchita Schulin or Perik Ein Mamidim. Omar, the Suffolk Tumah B'Rishus Harabim, Hilchasa Gemiri La Misaita. Guys, 1 second, I didn't tell you this. Says Taisvis, you know why Suffolk Tumah B'Rishus Harabim Sveika is Tahar? It's halacha mash misina by Saita. It's everything I just told you is a lie. Hang in there, I won't lie to you. The mashma, the dafka b'makim stira tamei. Dafka in the place of stira, where they were together, the 2 is tamei. Ava shaloi b'makom stira gemiri. We have a lachamash misinai, and Rishus Rabbi is what is a lab makom stira. The tahar vadaihu. That's what it says in Masechta Avodah Zarah and Chulin. Good. Now you could do one of two things. You could ask from Rabbi Stern, or you could say, Rabbi Stern, you're totally wrong. The kasha, the tema, at Vunda. Lemai itzri chilchasa. Why do you need a halacha meish misinai? Lema emitar cheskaso ve'emer loy titama. Why do you need a halacha meish misinai to mitar rishus harabim? The chiddush isn't suffik in rishus hayachid. She's tamei. That's the chiddush. Why do we need halacha to go ahead and say she's tar? Of course she's tar. It's obvious she has a chazaka. It's a gewaldige kasha. Gewaldige kasha, guys, right? Gewaldige kasha. No, he quotes a Gemara. He quotes two Gemaras. He quotes two Gemaras, one in Chulin, one in Avodah Zarah. Okay, but again, so he's in a great kasha. I just told you the whole thing made sense. The chiddush is what, and the chiddush is, it's pasuk. The chiddush. You needed a pasuk to tell me the suffix coming. We learned it. There's a pasuk in ma, line in ma, meaning without the pasuk, why would you say it's tar? So the pasuk doesn't apply to what to Rishus Harabim. So Fred ties the bomb kasha. Why do you need that halacha meish misinai? Right? What do you need it for? You have the cheskes tar. That's the kasha. It's a good kasha. Great kasha. Okay, continues ties this. The aim of Nami Bereish Masechta Nida, the Rebbe Shimon. Okay, let's go to V'yesh Leimar. Guys, the V'yesh Leimar. Skip down a few lines. V'yesh Leimar. Ilav Hilchasa, the Garminam, the Rishus Harabim Tahar, Hava Amina, Stira Dinaket Kra, like Dibra Kosif, Ela B'Havai. V'uadin L'chol Safik Tuma, B'chol Makoim, Shenolda. The Misfara, Ein L'Tar Zu, Yosem Izu. Guys, outside. Once you mechadesh that there's a din of Safik Tuma being Tameh, yeah, maybe the reason why it's said about in Mishus Hayachid by Sotah, not to go ahead and be machbid dafka on Mishus Hayachid, but it's speaking, that's normally where it would be, two people alone. It wouldn't be, birabim, it would be, but dibur akosiv in the normal way of where it would be, but not to limit it to that. Again, you have a chazaka coming along now. You're saying it's not true that chazaka does not always apply. Why? We have a pasuk saying it doesn't always apply. Where's the pasuk speaking? It's Hakim Rishus Hayachid. Good, but maybe it's not limited to Rishus Hayachid. Maybe you'd extend it beyond that. Because once you tell me, why should there be a chilik between if there's two people or three people? If you have a suffix, it's a suffix, right? Why? In Svara, guys, a suffix is a suffix. You have a dad. It should not make a difference how many people are there or where it's located. It doesn't make a difference. So says Taisus, this is what you would think. Says Taisus, Yesh Leimer. Ilav Hilchasa, the Gamina, the Rishus Harabim Tahar, Hava Amina, Stira Dinaket Kra, Leidibra Akosiv Elabavai. It's speaking what the norm would be. However, here's the key, guys. V'hu hadin lechol safik tuma b'chol makam shenolda. The misvara ein letarzu yosemizu. No matter where it is, it will be tamei. The salkadai the chaminon the gezeres melech kachi. It's the gezeres melech a safik wherever it is tamei. B'chol safik tuma elkach. It's the rechilchasa. You know what we need a lachat for? Lahamid safik tuma b'shus harabim aches kasa. V'loy machtina lei tuma me safik. What the Allah Sinai does, it says that the chazaka is still in force. Outside, guys, look at me, outside. Beautiful, let's go. In other words, you're coming back this way. Watch, here's what we're doing. Now clearly we had a Tosfos in Nun Zayin in the Nazir. So clearly you mind on the chazaka. It could be this is why. Now let's go through it. This is geshmak as anything. It's really geshmak. The bottom line is exactly what I told you. The reason why the Rishus Harabim it's tar is because of chazaka. When it says it's halacha meish Sinai, it's to keep that chazaka intact in place. Because you might think otherwise. I might think the following. Comes along the Torah and it's mechadish a huge chiddush. If safik tuma exists, it's tummy. Forget about chazaka. Forget about it. Where? In Sotah. Sotah only takes place over there? No. It doesn't want to limit it to where it took place. It doesn't want to limit it to two people. It's just telling you the way it would occur. Guys, shor shenoga chesapara. What happens if an animal is not a shor gauze, a goat gauze? Who had in, right? Shar Shami Shabbos. In other words, it's speaking about the norm, what you would expect, but it's not limiting it to a shar. Good. So to here, it's not limiting it to what? To Rishus HaYachid. Good. And therefore, what? Because it's not a svara to say that once you mechadish that the chazak is not there in Rishus HaYachid, maybe it's not there in Rishus HaRabim either. Why? Because why should you make a chilik? A suffix is it's once you mechadish that there's no chazak anymore in Rishus HaYachid, the suffix is there, the suffix exists, extend it beyond. So you know what the Lachem Moshe Sinai says? He says, no. The Lachem Moshe Sinai says, no, in Rishus HaRabim, the chazaka does exist. But don't think that Rishus HaYachid you're going to extend it to Rishus HaRabim. But the Lachem Moshe Sinai does, it limits it and says that no. It's limited to Rishus HaYachid. But the reason suffix tumah Rishus HaRabim sveika is tahar is because of the chazaka. So we just got here this way with a little kinech. In other words, it's the halacha that got us there. But the bottom line is exactly what I told you. You do not learn out from Sotah suffix tumah Rishus HaRabim. You learn out suffix tumah Rishus HaYachid. Rishus HaRabim is the chazaka. Why is the chazaka? Because Allah Moshe Sinai that you should not go and extend the suffix of tumah and Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim.